Bhagavatam. You haven't got to keep going. एवं ते भगवद्दूता जमदूता विभासितम उपधार्य अतस्यान राजन सत्याहु नयको विदा. So the speeches of the Jamaduta, assistants of Jamaraj, was just finished. Argument. The argument was that this man, Ajami, born of a Brahmin father, although acquired all qualifications, he was qualified Brahmin, not simply born of a Brahmin father, but qualified Brahmin, with full knowledge of Vedic instruction, nice character, very gentle and silent, and offering respect to elderly person, spiritual master, father. In this way, he was perfect Brahmin. But due to his contact with a prostitute, he lost his all good qualities. And later on, he had to earn money by hook and crook, and thus he degraded more and more, and therefore his sinful activities are now responsible for his punishment, and we shall take him to the court of Jamaraj. That was the summary of the speech of the Jamaduta. Evam te Bhagavaduta Jamaduta bhivasitam. So, after finishing that speech, the Bhagavaduta, so there are Bhagavaduta also, assistant, servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are two kinds of servants, the Maya servant and Krishna servant. Nobody is master, that is illusion. Everyone is servant. Every living entity is a servant, as enunciated by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jiver Swarupai Nitya Krishna Das. The real constitutional position of the living entity is eternal servant of Krishna. When he does not render service to Krishna under false prestige, just like somebody said, the Vaishnava religion is slave mental. Vaishnava religion is slave mental. They want to be servant. But the rascals do not know that what you have gained by master mentality. You are simply servant of your senses. But they criticize that Vaishnava is slave. Everyone is slave. Somebody is slave of the senses and somebody is slave of Krishna. Nobody is master. That is illusion. Kamadinam katidhana katidha palita dullidesha. The slaves of the senses, they are following the dictation of the senses. And abominable activities they are doing, just like Ajahn. He was a Brahmin. He was a slave of Narayan, a slave of Krishna. Brahman Vaishnava. Brahman means a Brahmin, qualified Brahmin means he is a Vaishnava. Tad Vishnam Paramam Padam Pasyanti Sadas. Surya. Surya, Sura. Brahmin's another name is Sura. So those are Suras. Those who are demigods. They are Vaishnavas. They are always ready to render service to the Supreme Personality of God. But by false prestige, when one tries to become master, Krishna Bhuliya Jeev Bhagavan Chaka. A master is supposed to be the supreme enjoyer of the establishment. But actually, nobody is the enjoyer. Krishna is the only enjoyer. Bhoktaram Jagadavasam Sarvalukamansa. He is the proprietor. So, when we forget this relationship with Krishna, that I am eternal servant of Krishna, then he becomes servant of the senses or Maya. That by becoming servant of the senses, he follows the dictation of the master senses and goes down to the darkest region of illusion and becomes subjected to the punishment of Jamara. This is the so intelligent person just will find this statement of a Brahmin that she says, my dear Lord, I was so long servant of my senses and I followed their dictation even though it was very, very abominable. Sometimes our conscience beats, don't do this. But due to our lust and greediness, we do something which is abominable. Krishna is there within our heart. He also gives sometimes dictation, don't do it. Still we do. The kamadinam katidha palita durnidesha. If the master says something, you do it. If it is good, that's all right. But if it is bad, even though I have to do because I have accepted the servitude, that is very abominable. There is Shudras. According to Vedic principle, the Shudras, Sudra Karma Sabhavadi. The Shudras are meant for obeying the orders of the master. So sometimes it happens, the master says, you do this, you do that, which is not very good, the servant has to act. So the intelligent Brahmin says, my dear Lord, I have served the senses in so many ways, even though I am abominable. But I find still they are not satisfied. And neither the senses are very kind to me. Because I have served so faithfully, still they are dictating and I am doing. This is my position. So now I have got good sense that if I am destined to serve, then why not Krishna? Why shall I serve the senses? If my position is to serve, don't do that. If my position is to serve, and by serving the senses I am going to the darkest regions of darkness, why shall I serve the senses? The Bhagavad Dutta. The Bhagavad Dutta means they are in right constitutional position. So you all become Bhagavad Dutta. Bhagavad Dutta, messenger of God. That is perfection of life. Otherwise, you shall be obliged to become the servant of the senses. Godas and Goswami. The Bhagavad Duttas are Goswami. And the servants of the senses are Godas. Unfortunately, the Godasas are claiming to be Goswami. That is the cause of fall down of Indian Vedic civilization. one has to become Goswami. Goswami means refuse to follow the dictation of the senses. Simply, he has to follow the dictation of the Supreme Personality of God. That dictation comes through the parampara system. Krishna dictated Arjuna, Sarvadharman parityajya mam ekam saranam bhajo. If you follow Arjuna, then you are in direct contact with Krishna. There is no difficulty. The dictation comes through disciplic succession. Now, Krishna is teaching to his disciple Arjuna. Arjuna accepted. Shishya seham. Just now I become your disciple. Shishya means one who voluntarily accepts the ruling of a spiritual master. He is called Shishya. Nobody wants to follow the dictation of others. That is another independent nature of the living entity. But when one voluntarily agrees to serve the dictation of the spiritual master, means to follow the dictation of Krishna. Acharya man vijanya. Krishna says, Acharya is myself. Navamanneta kariti, never disobey. Namastu buddhya suyeta, do not think him as ordinary person and become envious of his position. Then there is fall down. Acharya man vijanya, navamanneta kariti, namastu buddhya suyeta. So, this dictation of Krishna comes through the disciplic succession. And if we follow the instruction of Acharya or spiritual master, then we are directly following the orders of Krishna, and thus I become a Bhagavad Dutta. Naman, and the Dutta or the followers of the dictation of my senses. And one who is Bhagavad Dutta, he is called Goswami. Just like Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. Those life is dedicated to follow the dictation of Krishna, they are Goswami. Goswami is not a caste title, just like it has become in India. Goswami, Rupa Goswami, was a minister. He was rejected by the Brahmin society. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made him Goswami. He is the original Goswami. Why? Because he gave up the dictation of Navarsa, but he followed the dictation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore he became Goswami. Prabhupada. He became Prabhupada. Prabhupada means the title or the respect which is given to the Supreme Personality of God. That is called Prabhu means master, and Pada means Marjada, or the respect or the distinction. So, Bhagavad Dutta, those who are strictly following the dictation of Krishna under strict disciplinary chain of disciplic succession, he is Krishna's representative and he should be given all the respect. Sakshadharitena samasta shastras. That is the verdict of all shastras, and those who are actually Vaishnava, they follow these instructions. एवं ते भगवद्दूता जमदूता विभाषितम उपधार्य अथान राजन प्रत्याहु नयकोविदा. Nayakobida. Nayakobida means Nayanipura. Bhagavad Dutta, those who are Goswamis, they place everything with Naya, or logic. Their instructions are not blind dogmatic. Nayakobhira. Everything what is said by Krishna or his representative, they are not dogmas. Those who are not representative of Krishna, they will say simply dogma. Just like in every religion there is a dogma. But in Bhāgavad religion, Bhāgavad Dharma, there is no dogma. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Bhāgavad Dharma, Chaitanya Charitamrita, author, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says therefore that Chaitanya Dayara Katha Karaha Vichar. Vichar means you just try to understand the gift of Lord Chaitanya by logic, vichar. Don't follow blindly. Following blindly something, that's not good. That will not stay. But one should take everything with logic. But the servants of God, they put everything in logic. Chaitanya Dayara Katha Karaha Vichar. If you study the Chaitanya philosophy with logic and argument, don't go by sentiment. The so-called missionary, they're simply bogus propaganda without any logic. Without any logic. Just like some missionary people are propagating a man to become God. How a man can become God? There must be evidence how a God incarnate. Not that somebody by worshipping a demigod becomes a God. So many false propaganda is going on. That is not logical at all. So one should be intelligent to understand the philosophy of Krishna, or philosophy of Lord Chaitanya with logic and argument. Don't follow blindly. But once you accept, you cannot argue. You have to accept blindly. But before accepting, you take to logic. But when you accept, then go back, then that is fall down. Nayakobhira, Vishnuduta Uchu, Oho Kastam, Dharmadisham Adharmam Sprisate Sabha, Jatra Dandesu Opapeshu Danda Jayadhriyati Vritha. Now, he is indicating that if the court is contaminated, court, everyone goes to the court to receive justice. But if the court is itself polluted, then how people will live? That has become the practice in the Kali Yuga. Anadhena Nayarahitam. In Kali Yuga, if you have no money, then you will not be able to get justice. Anadhena Nayarahitam. As soon as you go to the court, immediately you will have to appoint a pleader and pay him the 25 rupees, and then stamp duty, this and that, so many things, then bribe. Then bribe. You give bribe to this man, you give bribe to that man. Suppose you actually want some money from somebody, just that money is not paying, or something else. So you have to push good money after bad money. The money which is due from others is not paying, that has become a bad money. Good money means which is in your hand, that is good money. And if you are simply speculating that I shall get this money from that person, I shall get this money from, that is bad money. So there is an English proverb, perhaps you know, to push good money after bad money. Therefore, sometimes intelligent persons, they do not go to the court because he knows that money which is not being paid, before entering into agreement, you should be very clever so that your money may not be bad money, which you are advancing. But if somehow or other it has become bad money, don't try to push good money. Let that bad money go to hell. So better nowadays not to go to the court as far as possible. But you should deal with people in such a way, just like I was advising you, just find out a respectable transporter, because the time is very bad. Otherwise, it will become a bad money. You go a cheap thing that he will carry my goods free, but he will throw it away, somebody will take away. Then your whole profit is gone. So you should be very careful. And if you have to go to court, then it is still more bad. So we have to be very careful. The age is very bad. The Kali Yuga, you have experienced it. We have to simply take shelter of Krishna and always cry, Krishna, 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 He, Krishna, 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 He, Krishna, 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 Rakshama, Krishna, 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 Pahima, Krishna, Kesava, Krishna, Kesava, Krishna, Kesava, Rakshama, Rama, Raghava, Rama, Raghava, Rama, Raghava, Pahima, like that. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us. The time is very dangerous, and still in this dangerous time, just like in epidemic condition where every people is being contaminated and dying, still the doctors appointed by the government, they have to go into the epidemic area and try to treat the person and save them. Our duty is like that. The whole atmosphere is epidemic. Whole atmosphere is Kali Yuga. And it's still, by the superior orders, we have to preach this Krishna consciousness movement. Therefore, our only shelter is Krishna. Krishna, 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 Rakshama. Very dangerous. That foolish people, they are thinking that we are very happy and we are very safe. Nobody is safe. Nobody is safe. So we have to deal with persons very carefully, and at the same time we have to push our missionary activities. Aho kastam dharma disham, so they are saying dharma disham sabham, sabham adharma. If in the court of justice, these false things, bribing, without money nobody can get justice, these things happen, it becomes very troublesome. Aho kastam dharma disham adharma prishate sabham jatra dandesu apapesu danda masti yati vritha. Sadahu jatra sabhayam vaidharma dighi tesham tang sabha. If the people who are administering justice, they become easily impact of how troublesome situation is. This is the first acclamation. Then it is prajanang pitaro jita sastara sadhava sama jadi sateshu baisammam kanjanti saranam praja. The citizen, just like innocent children, and the government is to be supposed as the father. So small children, they are completely dependent on father. Full faith. My father is there, my mother is there. And if the father and mother become contaminated, then where is the position of the children? If the whole government is polluted, then what is the position of the citizens? Just see. There is so-called government, millions of rupees they are spending and taking salary, government house, but the praja, they have no security for their life. Just see the position. So that is said here. Prajanam pitarujita sastaro sadho sama. How impartial they should be, how competent they should be to give protection to the citizens, and if they are polluted, if they are incapable, and such government is there, then it is just like Jadishkati Subhaisammam Pamjati Saranam Praja. Then what is the condition of the citizen? Where they will go for protection? That is the condition. Now, this is called Kali. They are not a shelter. Now these people are so uncertain of their life and property. Still they cannot go to the but it will happen in this age. Hatchinna Daradavina Gachanti Girikanana. Due to this rascal government, people will be so much embarrassed that Hatchinna Daradavina. They will be separated from their wives, children and money, and they will go to the forest. This will happen. They will go to the forest. Nobody wants to leave the company of wives, children and property, but people will be forced, just like we have seen already in the time of partition, the Muslims and Hindus. The Hindus are going away, and the Muslims are also going, and nobody is happy. But the partition was made, and this was accepted as India's independence. This is called Maya. They are going to be more dependent, more and more, and still it was accepted as independence. Jad jadacharati sriyan itarastam sadihate sajat pramanam kurute lokastad anuvartat. If they hate, the hates of the society, whatever they do, general people follow them. Jada jadacharati sriyan. Sriyan means the leading personality. Jad jadacharati sriyan itarastat tadihate, and the general public, they follow them. Sajat pramanam kurute, what the leaders accept as good, the general public, they also accept so. Sajat pramanam lokastad anuvartati. Pita, Pitrivat Palaka. Now here, the government or the king is compared with the father. That is the position of father. Just like a father will never tolerate the killing of his child before him. He will give his own life. He will try to attack that person who has killed his child and give his own life. I do not like to live. That is the position of government. But they are saying, this is correct. Sadat pramanam krute lokastadanavattati jasyanka sirayadhaya lokas apiti nidvita swayam dharma dharmam va nahi vida jathapasu. Just like if you put your head on some friend's lap and you sleep very nicely without any care. But the man on whose lap you are putting your head, if he is ungrateful, he is not faithful, he wants to cut your throat, then what is your position? This is very. So it is a very nice discussion delivered by the Bhagavad Gita. These are the speeches of the Bhagavad Gita, not of the Maya's Gita. Maya's Gita will figure, this is all right. This is all right. But this is the speech of the Bhagavat. Try to understand. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
The forest is all you.
Just to take shelter to save their life. Because one's own life is first consideration. Self-preservation is the first last need. So when there is danger, people will give up their wife and property and go. Just like people are going. Okay. This will happen. In European countries also, when there is war, so many refugees. And I have got and I have heard one Mr. MacPherson, an English man, he was known to me, he was coming to my shop. He stated that in the First World War, he was in the war service, and some Belgian refugees came to France because Marshal Foch, he was in charge of that area, and when he was informed that so many refugees, mostly women and children, they have come, so he becomes so much disturbed that where shall I give them shelter in this warfare? So the advice was that to blow them, finish. So they are blown out. This is practical, and warfare such things happen. Who is going to take responsibility for so many women and children in this world? They were blown up. They came to take shelter, but they were blown up. Such things happen in the world. It's just like in your country, the real policy is to continue this white man. Means they cannot manage this city, and they are trying to send them to white man and kill them. That's all. That is the policy. They cannot manage, they cannot make them stay and in normal conditions. They have no such policy, neither they know it. So what to do? They cannot manage. Therefore they are country. This is policy. Do you think? Huh? What do you think? This is my suggestion. Unwanted person, let them be killed. Just like this Marshal Foch did. Unwanted refugees, blow them. And killing and blowing, this is very easy thing for the animal eaters, for the maintenance of slaughterhouse. I hear that these Naxals are taken to slaughterhouse to learn how to kill. Do you know that? Somebody was telling. Yes, your husband was telling. So these Naxalites are taken to the slaughterhouse and they are taught how to kill. Therefore they do not care. Immediately beaten by rod and actually fell down with just like slaughterhouse. They are taught, and the military men, they are also taught like that, to become cruel. A very horrible position of this Kali-yuga. Krishna naam karo bhai yarsam, we say, you take shelter of Krishna, otherwise so many things.